Kitkatscanread. Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome to another video. Today I'm bringing you guys my April book haul, all the books that I've accumulated in the month of April. And first of all, I'm going to share with you some books that I got from a bookshelf that's up the road from me. It's about a 2-minute drive, 10-minute walk, and on the way back from work I come through this road, and I've been eyeing up lately because I've not been there in a few months, and I went there and I got myself a few books, so I'm gonna share these guys with you. So of course these are all free because of the bookshop. It's kind of like you leave a book, take a book sort of situation, and I have put loads of books there before in the past, and yeah, they have all disappeared now, so obviously like everyone's got them. So it's a brilliant idea. Every town should have one of these. So the first book that I'm going to share with you is Little Woman by Louisa May Alcott. This is a classic. This is a classic that I don't own yet. This is a classic. It was remade into a movie with Emma Watson, which I still haven't seen yet actually. But I feel like this is like one of the first proper classics that I would actually read. I have read like other classics, but I think this is one that I would actually read myself, not like through school sort of thing. So yes, this is a story that literally is about 3 sisters. We've got Meg, Jo and Beth, and it's their adventures and their attempts to increase the family income, their friendship with the Lawrence family, and their later love affairs. And hopefully I do enjoy this book. Yeah, this is definitely one of those classics that I would love to dive in pretty soon. This next book I picked up, I've heard of the author but I haven't heard of like, you know, what they do sort of thing. So this is Clive Cussler and Graham Brown, and this book is The Rising Sea. It's from a series called The Numa Files, a Kurt Austen adventure. When I read the back of this I was like, you know, it doesn't sound like I have to read the other books in the series, so I'm not entirely sure. So if you guys have read this and you know about it, then yeah, let me know down below in the comments whether I need to read the first book in the series. But this book just sounds really interesting, pretty much about a global threat around the world. The seas are suddenly starting to rise. The Numa team and Kirsten are in a race against time to find out what's causing it. So it leads them to Tokyo, a forbidden island, the East China Sea, where a secret underwater operation is taking place beneath the waves. And there is more than rising seas at stake because someone is behind this operation and they'll do anything to prevent the others from prying into their affairs. I don't know, it sounds really interesting. This global threat and investigation about it, like, I don't know, this sounds like really cool. So I look forward to that one. Next one I've got here, Ella on the Outside by Kath Howe. Look how bright this cover is. It's really bright. I quite like it. So it says here, a gripping story of secrets, lies and friendships. Ella is the new girl at school. She doesn't know anyone, she doesn't have any friends, and she has terrible secrets. She can't believe her luck when Lydia, the most popular girl in school, decides to be her new best friend. But what does Lydia really want? What does it all have to do with Molly, the quiet shy girl who won't talk to anybody? So I believe this is like a children's book anyway, but I don't know, it just looked really cute, so so I picked it up. So was it? I picked up Prom by Laurie Halse Anderson, the last thing that she ever wanted. So look at this yellow book. So it has her Ashley couldn't care less about prom. She's too busy planning her life with her boyfriend TJ. Then Ashley discovers that there might be more to prom in life than she thought. Dun dun dun. I've seen this book, but like I'm sure with a different cover actually, so yeah, we'll see. Next one I have the sequel to Pinch of Magic, A Sprinkle of Sorcery by Michelle Harrison. I was really lucky to find this. When I picked it up I was like, oh my goodness, this is the sequel. Like, is this a sign that I need to read the first book? I don't know. So this is about 3 sisters with a magical secret, race against time to find a place that exists only in fairy tales, a journey that will take them into unimaginable danger. Dun, dun, dun. But look at this cover, it's so gorgeous. It's literally one of my favourite covers actually, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. These books are so gorgeous, like with the gold foil around, and the colour of it. Oh man, it's just gorgeous. I'm so super happy to have that now. Next what I have here, Pegasus and the Flame by Katie Ahern. This is the first book that's in a series and it's about like mythology. It's really cool. So when Pegasus crashes onto the roof, 13-year-old Emily's life becomes that of legend, epic battles, desperate chases, captivating flights astride the beautiful winged stallion, and one heroic quest to save Olympus before its flame is extinguished forever. So yeah, Pegasus was like one of my favourite characters from Hercules, the Disney So yeah, now we've got a children's book series that's about this. Well, I've got The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. I was checking it, I was like, I can't remember if I own this or not, but I think it's because I got it from the library at the time, and I got it from the library from my nan because it's like a crime sort of novel, if I remember. And yeah, my nan read it and was like, okay. So yeah, obviously we know that Robert Galbraith is a different name for an author, like it's a different author. And yes, so it says here, when a troubled model falls to her death from a snow-covered Mayfair balcony, it's assumed that she has committed suicide. However, her brother has his doubts and calls in private investigator Cameron Strike to look into the case. Strike is a war veteran, wounded both physically and psychologically, and his life is in disarray. The case gives him a financial lifeline, but it comes at a personal cost. The more he delves into the young model's complex world, the darker things get and the closer he gets to terrible danger. It's an elegant mystery that steeps into the atmosphere of London, from the hush streets of Mayfair to the back street pubs of the East End to the bustle of Soho. It's a remarkable book introducing Cameron Strike. It's the first crime novel by J.K. Rowling, writing under the pseudonym of Robert Galbraith. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to giving this a try as an adult book, and I do have a casual vacancy, but I haven't got around to reading that. So yeah, I thought, you know, get this as a nice little hardback. Next couple of books that I picked up are actually books in a series, so I was just like, they sound really interesting, so I will have a venture into like getting the other books somehow. So this first one is Ghost Hunter by Michelle Paver. I know this is in the series. The series is called Chronicles of Ancient Darkness. Kind of like caveman-like, isn't it, with this man and the wolf. I quite like this sort of cover actually. So this is the final book that is in that series, and we've got here Wolf Brother, Spirit Walker, Soul Eater, Outcast and Oathbreaker that are in this series. So I will have to get my hands onto getting the other books in this series, but I mean, it sounds really interesting. Obviously I can't really give a synopsis away of this, so yeah, looking forward to catching and getting the other books that are in that. And then the other book I got is Bartimaeus, The Ring of Solomon by Jonathan Stroud. I mean, I was reading this and I was like, do I have to read the other book in the series? But I'm not entirely sure. So this goes into the Bartimaeus series with the first book called Bartimaeus, The Amulet of Samarkand, The Golem's Eye, Ptolemy's Gate. But it sounds really interesting. I mean, it sounds like something that even I'd read. I was picking it up mainly for Aaron actually. And then I was just like, oh, it sounds like something that I would read. Hello, it's the 22nd of April and I'm here to show you some books. So I've got here Persona 5 volume number 2, and this is by Hisato Murasaki. They have done the story and the art of Persona 5, the graphic novel. This is based off of a video game. I have read the first graphic novel, really enjoyed it, hence why getting the second. And this was around £5.20, £5.30, something like that on Amazon. I had an Amazon gift voucher, that's why I got these few books, and I was just like, what are some books I really want to get off of my wish list? This was one of them, and I'm really happy just getting back into reading some mangas again. I used to not like getting mangas because I always felt like that they took up space and they're so quick to read, you know, are they a waste? But I just enjoy reading them, and I'll only keep them and continue in physical form if I'm thinking of keeping them. And luckily I really enjoy Persona 5, so yeah, and you know, Aaron could give them a read as well. So yeah, this is volume number 2, which continues on with it. Basically the gist of the story is that Akira Kurusu is transferred from school after an incident that happened, and basically he awakens a new power, the power of one's true self, which is called a persona. And basically there is a app that navigates them to these like alternate places. So him and his friends take on this job as like phantom thieves, saving people from twisted desires of everyone around them. So that's pretty much the general storyline, and in the first book we pretty much have Akira awakening that power. and being trapped in a prison dungeon of a school. I mean, that sounds horrible, doesn't it? And he meets this dude here, and they become friends, and by the looks of it, it looks like they make friends with this girl as well. So yeah, really like the first one, can't wait to continue. Another book that I got with the voucher was Fate the Winx Saga, The Fairy's Path, a novelisation by Ava Coringer. So I'm not sure if this is going to be like a series, but when I was looking at, I literally typed in the Winx, I think, on Amazon a few months ago when I was watching the TV show. This came up and I was like, oh my goodness, I've watched and finished the season 1 TV show of Fate the Winx Saga. I really enjoyed it personally myself. It's different to the cartoon TV show, you just have to think about it on another level. I enjoy it. I enjoy teen shows, I enjoy supernatural shows, you know, I'm quite easygoing me. So this is the novelisation, and of course I'm going to want to read a book if I'm a big fan of the Winx Saga on Netflix. So this is the story about this girl, and she ends up going to this fairy school, making these fairy friends. They have powers, and she's got the power of fire. However, she's never been able to control her magic, so in hopes to go to this school to control the magic, she's got friends Aisha, Terra, Musa and Stella, and she's like an outsider. She had like human parents, so they didn't know about the school, so they just think she's gone to a boarding school. So she's gone off to this fairy school, and there's an evil sort of mysterious power that's been going on and stuff. There's something obviously strange going on even for Bloom. She wants to know more about like her real family and everything. She's never known that sort of stuff. I like it, so I'm looking forward to reading this. I mean, fairies, human fairies. So yeah, we shall see what I think about it. Like, I just, yeah, looking forward to that one. Finally, I've got here Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. This is a self-published book that's on Amazon actually. For some reason I didn't think it was self-published, but oh man, it was around £10, £10 or £11 or something like that. But I've been hearing so many things about this book. I don't even know what it's about. I just hear that it's disgusting and trashy, and for some reason disgusting and trashy rang a bell inside my brain, and I was like, I must get that book immediately. So I saw Chloe Ree's book, she had this, and she's getting it, she's going to do a vlog about it. I don't know yet, like, I don't know what I'm going to think. There's over 600 pages of it, and I haven't got a single bloody clue what this book's about. However, the chapters are really short, so if the chapters are short, I tend to fly through it a lot better. So it says here, Ryder, Garrett, Kenzo and Diesel are the Vipers. They run the town, everyone in it. Their deals are sordid as their business. Their reputation is enough to bring a grown man to his knees, forcing him to beg for mercy. They are not the people that you mess with, yet my dad did. The old man ran up a debt with them and then sold me to cover his losses, and they own me now. I'm theirs in every sense of the word, but I've never been meek and compliant to these men. They look at me with longing. Their scarred, blood-stained hands hold me tight. They want everything that I am and to give, and they won't stop until they get just that. They can own my body, but they'll never have my heart. The Vipers, I'm going to make them regret the day that they took me. This girl, she bites too. I don't know, is there like vampires in this? Like, I don't know. Is that like a hint? Like, it's vampires? So, I don't really know. So, if you guys have read this book, let me know what you thought down below. But I do really want to read it soon, so I've no idea when. Like, maybe I'll read it after my current read, because I'm so like, you know when you just want to read a book? This is the treat it. So yeah, this is going to be read soon. If it's not read, you know, April, it will be read in May. Definitely within the next couple of months. Keep your eyes out for me reading that. It's nearing the end of April now. Today is Tuesday the 27th, and I've got some more books to share with you guys. So the first of which is Love Struck by Rachel Wing. This is a Midsummer Night's Dreams retelling. It says here, Holly's getting ready for the best summer of her life. Her favourite bands are playing at the hottest ever music festival. And when the best friend wears by her side as well as a super crush called Jonah, what could possibly go wrong? A new book from teen queen Rachel Wing, author of Star-Crossed, who I absolutely loved, written when she was just 14 years old. A sassy, clever debut from a 16-year-old author. So this is Rachel Wing's other book. As you all know, I read and loved Star-Crossed, which is the back of the book. And yeah, this is another book, and I managed to get the matching cover to it. It was actually a couple of quid on eBay, including postage. So I thought I would give her other book a try. I've never managed to. I've never even read the story of Midsummer Night Dream, so I don't really know the story of Midsummer Night Dream. So yeah, this should be interesting, and hopefully I enjoy it just as much as Star-Crossed. Fingers crossed. Then I had some books arrive literally a couple of days ago, and I got here Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. I've had massive things about this book, so many good things, and I just want to get my hands on it. I'm told it's absolutely adorable and really cute. Recommended by Heather from Bookables, and definitely a few other booktubers that I've seen that I can't put my fingers on, but I've just heard so many good things about this book. So this is about Pepper. She's a swim team captain, chronic overachiever, all-round perfectionist. Her family might be falling apart, but their massive fast food chain is booming. Many thanks to Pepper, who's barely managing to juggle real life while secretly running Big League Burger's massive Twitter account. Then we enter Jack, who is a class clown and a constant thorn in Pepper's side. When he isn't trying to duck out of his obscenely popular twin Shadow, he's busy working in his family's deli. His relationship with the business that holds the future may be love to hate, but when Big League Burger steals his grandma's iconic grilled cheese recipe, he's going to do whatever it takes to take them down, one tweet at a time. All's fair in love and cheese, that is, until Pepper and Jack's spat turns into a viral Twitter war. Little do they know, while they're publicly duking it out with snarky memes and retweet battles, they're also falling for each other in real life on an anonymous chat app that Jack built. As the relationship deepens and the online shenanigans escalate, people on the internet are now shipping them. The battle gets more and more personal until even these two rivals can't ignore that they were destined for the most unexpected, awkward and all the feels romance that neither of them expected. I hate to love romance. It's just what I am in the mood for. I'm so glad that I got my hands on it, and I'm just told it's just got everything that I need. Then I've got here The Chase by Elle Kennedy. This is the first book that's in the Briar You series. Elle Kennedy is quite big in the sort of like new adult romance sort of like area. Yeah! Everyone says opposites attract, and they must be right, because there's no logical reason why I'm so drawn to Colin Fitzgerald. I don't usually go for tattoo-covered, video gaming, hockey-playing nerd jocks who think that I'm flighty and superficial. His narrow field of me is the first strike against him. It doesn't help that he's buddy-buddy with my brother, and that his best friend has a crush on me, and that I just moved in with them. Oh, did I not mention that we're roommates? Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter. Fitzy has made it clear that he's not interested in me, even though the sparks between us are liable to burn our house down. I'm not the kind of girl who chases after a man though, and I'm not about to start. I've got my hands full dealing with a new school, a sleazy professor and an uncertain future. So if my sexy, brooding roomie wises up and realises what he's missing, well, he knows where to find me. Dun dun dun! So it's an opposites attract story. Could it be love to hate? I don't really know, but I hear really good things about this book. Then I've got here Room-Made by Soraya Wilson. I was recommended this book when I was tweeting out naming your favourite romances, and this was one of them, and I thought, you know, it sounded pretty cool. So this is about Madison Huntington, who's determined to live her dreams. So it means getting out from under her family's wealth and influence by saying no to family business and her allowance and her home. But on a teacher's salary, the real world comes as a rude awakening, especially when she wakes up every morning on a colleague's couch. To get a place of her own without cockroaches, mould and a crime scene tape, Madison accepts a position as a roommate. In exchange for a free room and board, all she needs to do is keep her busy, roommate's penthouse clean, and his dog company. So what if she's never washed a dish in her life? She can figure it out, right? Madison's pretty confident she can fake it well enough that Tyler Roth will never know the difference. The finance whiz is rich and privileged and navigates the same social circle as her parents, but to him she is just a teacher in need of an apartment. He's everything that Madison has run from, but his kind-hearted nature, somewhat fluttering smile, and unexpected insecurities only make her want to get closer, and Tyler is warming to the move. Rewarding job, perfect guy, great future. With everything so right, what could go wrong? Madison is about to find out. Da, da, da. So yeah, a room made for a rich finance guy. What's gonna happen? I don't know. But yeah, I got recommended that one. Then I've got here Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer Armentrout. I am so excited to have this book now. This is the third book that's in the From Blood and Ash series. I've been waiting to get my hands on the paperback because they only had the Audible and Kindle. I do have an Audible credit that's also in this as well because I've got Audible credits on the other couple of books and I recommend listening to them as well. I tend to listen and read at the same time, but sometimes I do like to physically read myself. This is a chonker as well. The first book was, the second book was, so of course the third book has to be quite chunky too. So obviously I can't really go into much detail of this as it's a continuation on with the series. However, I have read and loved From Blood and Ash. That is a story about a maiden who is veiled and she is not allowed to have any relationships, no friends, no lovers. She literally just has to go about her life protecting, and little do they know she's been practicing to wield weapons behind the back, and that she does have friends in the guards. And yes, she is a very spunky character, and yeah, there are other mysteries going on, other creatures that are involved, supernatural creatures, be it that. And yeah, it's just really good. Really good story. Totally recommend it. Everybody's literally reading, raving about it at the moment, and you need to get your hands on it if you haven't done already. And the third book's out now, so yay. I've heard from one of my good friends who gets Jennifer Armentrout's books before they're released. She has raved about this and said this is the best one yet. But I have had a couple of people say that they didn't enjoy it as much as the others, so I'm going into it, you know, blind basically. I'm going to go into it with my own feelings of it. Next of all, I've got here Simmer Down by Sarah Smith. This is about Nikki DeMarco knew life wouldn't be all sunshine and coconuts when she quit her dream job to help her mum serve up mouth-watering Filipino dishes to hungry beachgoers. She didn't expect the food truck scene to be eat or be eaten, or the competition to be so smoking hot. But Tiva's Filipina Cucina has faced bigger road bumps than the arrival of Callum James. Nikki doesn't care how delectable the British food truck owner is. He really set up shop next to her coveted beach parking spot. He is stealing her customers and fanning the flames of a public feud that makes her see sparks. So the solution is to let the upcoming food festival decide their fate. Winner keeps the spot, loser at pound sand. But the longer their rivalry simmers, the more Nikki starts to see a different side of Callum, a sweet and protective side. Is she brave enough to call a truce, or will trusting Callum with her heart mean jumping from the frying pan into the fire? So another love to hate, and that revolves around food. So two things in one. Then I've got here No Judgments by Meg Cabot. Meg Cabot, if you don't know, is one of my favourite authors, and so this is one of her chicklet novels. And it says here, Brie Beckham needs to start over, so she leaves Manhattan for the one place that has always felt safe, Little Bridge. The tiny island in the Florida Keys was her family's favourite vacation spot. With its glassy water and colourful houses, it seems too beautiful to be hit by disaster until a Category 5 hurricane bears down and residents are urged to evacuate. But Brie has no intention of leaving. She's got access to a landline and plenty of supplies. She's not accepting her traitorous ex's offer to fly her to safety in his private plane. When the storm proves devastating, Brie starts to worry, not for herself but for her many beloved pets left behind by panicked owners. She has a plan to save as many of the creatures as she can. All residents have to do is call a landline to know about their stranded pets, and she'll make sure that they're rescued, no questions and no judgments. It's a very daunting task, but help arrives in the form of her boss's sexy nephew, Drew Hartwell, the island's resident heartbreaker. But when Brie's ex shows up, just as she's falling hard for Drew, she has to ask herself if their steamy connection is just a passing storm or a bond that's built to last. rescuing animals, held in the air, also with a bit of romance going on. I love the sound of it. And I've got here Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. I've heard so many good things about this book. When I was watching hate to love recommendations, friends to lovers recommendations, romance recommendations, like office recommendations, pretty much the majority of those recommendations, especially with like favourite romances, was this book. This is about Hazel, who knows that she's a lot to take, and frankly most men aren't up to the challenge. If her army of pets and taste for the absurd don't send them running, her lack of filter and tendency to say exactly the wrong thing will. They're lost, not everyone can handle a Hazel. Josh has known Hazel since college, from the first night they met when she graciously threw up on his shoes. Josh has always thought of Hazel more as a spectacle than a peer, but now 10 years later, after a cheating girlfriend has turned his life upside down, going out with Hazel is a breath of fresh air. Not that Josh and Hazel date, not each other, but setting each other up on progressively terrible double dates means there's nothing between them, right? So, from what I'm told, they're friends, they set each other up on horrific dates, but they always end up somehow getting back together, sort of thing. So they'll go to like other dates and we'll always end up back together, that sort of thing. So it sounds like it's gonna be really cute, probably really funny when it comes to the actual dates, but you know, I've high hopes for this book, but I'm at the same time going to go into it with a level head because I don't want to ruin my experience of the book. I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is. I've just had really, really good things about it. It is the 29th and I've got some more books to share with you guys. First of which is Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston, and I've been really, really meaning to get this, and I managed to get this at second hand off of eBay, so it's nice. Reader's certificate underneath. It seems in really, really good condition, which I'm so happy with. Like, there's not really any scuffs, as you can see in the light there, or anything. So yeah, this is really, really cool. So Ashley Poston, I read Geekerella. I absolutely love the book so much. So I went on a sort of like, let's add the rest of her books to my wish list. So that's why I've got this book right here. So this is about 17-year-old Anna, who is a scoundrel by nurture and an outlaw by nature, found as a child drifting through space with a sentient android called DO9. Anna was saved by a fearsome space captain and the grizzled crew she now calls family. But DO9, one of the last remaining illegal metals, has been glitching, and Anna will stop at nothing to find a way to fix him. Anna's desperate effort to save them leads them on a quest to steal the coordinates to a lost ship that could offer all of the answers. But at the very last minute, a spoiled Iron Blood boy beats Anna to her prize. He has his own reasons for taking the coordinates, and he doesn't care what he'll sacrifice to keep them. When everything goes wrong, she and the Iron Blood end up as fugitives on the run. Now their entire kingdom is after them, and the coordinates, and not everyone wants them captured alive. When they find in a lost corner of the universe will change their lives and unearth dangerous secrets, but when a darkness from Anna's past returns, she must face an impossible choice. Does she protect the kingdom she wants her dead, or does she save the metal boy that she loves? Ooh, so it sounds like a really cool, interesting story about a girl with a robot trying to save it, and yeah, and going against somebody who also wants what she wants, and they end up falling for each other. It sounds really cool. So yeah, Boston delivers a delightful cast and non-stop thrills in this light speed space adventure. The pages flew by and I couldn't put it down. Victoria Schwab. Heart of Iron left the perfume of moon lilies in the air and the grit of rust on my fingertips, with characters who made my heart swell one line and break it the next. Sarah Rush. Sharply drawn characters, relentless plot, and an utterly spellbinding world. CJ Redwine. So yeah, 3 popular authors in there, so this is really good. And I absolutely love this cover. Like, I really, really like it. I think it's really cool. Look at that lovely detail right there. That is just super awesome. So beautiful cover, but a sci-fi book, so that's good because I want to read more sci-fi, so I'm glad I got hold of this now. Then I've got here The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. This is another one that I've heard massive things about from a lot of recommendation videos of romance books, and this was one that was literally on every list, so this was like one that I had to get my hands on. and yeah, I just hear amazing things about it. So it says here it's about Calla Fletcher, who wasn't 2 years old when her mother took her and fled to Alaska, unable to handle the isolation of the extreme rural lifestyle, leaving behind Calla's father, Ren Fletcher, in the process. Calla never looked back, and at 26, the busy life in Toronto is all she knows. But when they learn that Ren's days may be numbered, she knows it's time to make the long trip back to the remote frontier town of her birth to attempt to fix their estranged relationship. She brings the roaming wildlife, odd daylight hours, and exorbitant prices, and even the occasional outhouse for all of the chance to connect with her father, the man who, despite his many faults, she can't help but care for. While she struggles to adjust to this rugged new environment, Jonah, the unkept, obnoxious Alaskan pilot who helps to keep her father's charter plane company operational, can't imagine calling anywhere else home, and he's clearly waiting for one hand on the throttle to fly his city girl back to where she belongs, convinced that she is too pampered to handle the world. I'm told this is one of those hate to loves, so I'm glad that I've got another one. Then I've got here Girl Gone Viral by Alicia Roy. I got this second hand as well, and another book that I'm told is really, really good, and this is the author of The Right Swipe. So it says here, oh my god, wouldn't it be adorable if he is her soulmate? I don't see any wedding rings. 1 minute, Katrina King's enjoying an innocent conversation with a hot guy at a coffee shop. The next, a stranger has live tweeted the entire episode with a romantic meet cute spin, and hashtag Cafe Bay is the new hashtag du jour. The problem? Katrina craves a low profile life and going viral threats the peaceful world she's painstakingly built. Besides, hashtag Cafe Bay isn't the man that she's hungry for. With the internet on the hunt for the identity of the hashtag cute cafe girl, Just Sing, bodyguard, friend and possessor of the most beautiful eyebrows Katrina's ever seen, comes to rescue and whisk her away to his family's home. Alone in a remote setting with the objective of her affections, a recipe for romance, but after a long dating dry spell, Katrina isn't sure that she can trust her instincts when it comes to love, even if Jazz's every look says he wants to be more than just her bodyguard. Then I've got here Shut Out by Katie Keplinger. I am trying to get all of the other books that are about Hamilton High, because Hamilton High is a series. The Duff was the first book, and so yeah, they're all like spin-offs from each other. So it says here, let the battle of the sexes begin. The girl of Hamilton High is sick of the rivalry between their boyfriends' football and soccer teams. Lisa's quarterback boyfriend Randy is always ditching her to pick a fight or prank on the other team. The girls are tired of competing for the boys' attention and they want their boyfriends back. Lisa rallies the girls and calls a sex strike. The boys won't get any action from them until the teams make peace. What they don't count is a new rivalry, a girls against boys showdown that hinges on who will cave first, and Lisa finds out that it's much harder than she ever thought it would be. Girls versus boys. So I don't really hear anybody talking about this book. Obviously the Duff, pretty amazing, love it. So I'm hoping that this is going to be pretty good. I'm trying to get like all the books in the series as well, because I love the Duff so much. I love it so much. It's so good. But yeah, I'm glad that I have this one now. Then I've got here I Heart New York by Lindsay Kelk. I own a couple of other books in this series. I think I own the one that's Christmas, and there's like one other that's like in the middle of the series. So this is the first book, and I ordered this second hand off of eBay. It was a couple of quid including postage, but to be honest, there's nothing wrong with the spine or the back or anything. Yeah, it's really good. There's an essence of a sticker that used to be there, but I got recommended this series, so thank you so much for recommending this to me. You know who you are. And so this is I'm told it's a brilliant romance story. I know that Rachel really enjoys this book, so I'll link her channel down below, as well as the person who did recommend this book, so their channels will be down below. Check them out, they're really awesome. This is about Angela Clark, who is in love with the most fabulous city in the world. Fleeing her cheating boyfriend and clutching little more than a crumpled bridesmaid dress, a pair of Louboutins and her passport, Angela jumps on a plane at destination NYC. Holed up in a cute hotel room, they get a New York makeover from their new best friend Jenny and a whirlwind tour of the city that never sleeps before she knows it. Angela's dating two sexy guys. Best of all, she gets to write about her in her new blog, Carrie Bradshaw, Eat Your Heart Out. But it's one thing telling readers about your romantic dilemmas, and it's another figuring them out for yourself. They've fallen head over heels for the Big Apple, but does she heart New York more than she hearts her home? but I'm told it's a really, really good chick lit series, and yeah, I'm in the mood for contemporaries, romances and chick lits at the moment, so won't be long before I read this because I've now got the first book in this series. Here we go guys with this chunker, The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. Really, really big. It's over 600 pages, but this was recommended on every romance video that I watched, every romance recommendation video. I've heard really, really good things about this book and this author in general actually, so I have already got a few books by this author, and I'm told that they write a lot of their books around like sports, this being one of them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this a read. If I absolutely love it, I will like definitely read like other books. I've already purchased a couple of other books, but like I'll end up reading them all, you know, simultaneously. Well, Vanessa knows that she is doing the right thing. She shouldn't feel bad for quitting. Being assistant housekeeper, fairy godmother to the top defensive end in the National Football Organisation was always supposed to be temporary. She has plans and none of them include washing extra large underwear longer than necessary. When Aidan Graves shows up at her door wanting her to come back, she is beyond shocked. For 2 years, the man known as the Wall of Winnipeg couldn't even find it in him to tell her good morning or congratulate her on her birthday, and now he's asking for the unthinkable. What do you say to the man who is used to getting everything he wants? So yes, I'm told it's kind of like a, I think this is a hate to love one. So yeah, we shall see about that. It's either hate to love or there's some sort of epic romance in it. I can't remember which one, but yeah, this is on my May TBR as well, and I'm looking forward to giving it a read, and hopefully I do enjoy it. You know, when big books are like big and I get really sort of like into them, I don't mind the size of them as long as I flow through it quite easily. So yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this a read because it's just so highly recommended. And I've got here You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria. So this is a romance book that I've had in my wishlist for quite a while, and I have recently seen somebody recommend this book again, so it kind of gave me the little push to get it. So it says here, after a messy public breakup, soap opera darling Jasmine Lynn Rodriguez finds her face splashed across the tabloids when she returns to New York to star in a new bilingual romantic comedy TV show. They figure out their leading lady plan should be easy enough to follow until a casting shake-up pairs with her telenovela hunk Ashton Suarez. After he was killed off in his last telenovela, Ashton is worried his career is dead as well. Joining his new cast at a last-minute decision, he will give him a chance to show off his acting chops to American audiences and ping the radar of Hollywood casting agents. But to make it work, he's going to generate smoking hot on-screen chemistry with Jasmine, which is easier said than done when a disastrous first impression smothers the embers of whatever sexual heat they might have had. A hate-to-love romance again? I mean, yes, please. And, you know, TV soaps as well, and drama and sexiness. Yes, definitely up for this one. And I've got Here the Whole Time by Vitor Martins. Already on the front here, I love this book by Rainbow Ram. So yeah, I've heard really, really good things about this one too. And it says here, my whole life I've avoided mirrors because I didn't really like what they had to show me, but today's different because I look at my reflection and I don't hate myself right away. They don't believe someone like Kyo could ever fall for someone like him, but over the next 15 days everything will change. But I've just heard really good things about this book, and it's been on my wish list for a few months, and I thought, why not get my hands on it, because I just hear really good things about it. So yeah, looking forward to giving this one a read. Another Mariana Zapata book here from Lukov with Love. And yes, another book that is highly recommended, another slight chonker. To be honest, this one has over 500 pages. So it says here, if someone were to ask Jasmine Santos to describe the last few years of her life with a single word, it would definitely be a four-letter one. After 17 years and countless broken bones and broken promises, she knows her window to complete in figure skating is coming to a close. When the offer of a lifetime comes in from an arrogant idiot she spent the last decade dreaming about pushing in the way of a moving bus, they might have to reconsider everything, including Ivan Lukov. So ice skating and a hate to love, like two things that I really enjoy actually. So high hopes for this one. Next of all, I have here Credence by Penelope Douglas. Penelope Douglas is very, very popular, especially in the romance genre and the adult, new adult area. And I think this is her latest one. I'm not entirely sure, but she's the author of Bully. I've read Bully and I really enjoyed that book actually. So it says here, Tiernan de Haas doesn't care about anything anymore. The only child of a film producer and his starlet wife, she's grown up with wealth and privilege, but not love or guidance. Shipped off to boarding schools from an early age, it was still impossible to escape the loneliness and carve out of a life of her own. The shadow of her parents' fame followed her everywhere. When they suddenly pass away, she knows that she should be devastated, but has anything ever changed? She's always been alone anyway. Jake van der Berg, her father's stepbrother, and her only living relative, assumes guardianship of the Tiernan, who is still 2 months shy of 18, sent to live with him and his 2 sons, Noah and Caleb, in the mountains of Colorado. Tiernan soon learns that these men now have a say in what she chooses to care and not care about anymore. As the 3 of them take her under the wing, teach her to work and survive in the remote woods far away from the rest of the world, she slowly finds her place among them and as part of a team. And she also realises that lines blur and rules become easy to break when no one is watching. One of them has her, the other one wants her, but he's going to keep her. Ooh, that sounds interesting. That's like a dark sort of romance. But yeah, this was another one that was recommended on a couple of video lists. Then I've got here Forget Tomorrow by Pintip Dunn. This was quite popular a few years ago, I want to say, and it's Romance Writers of America Rita winner, New York Times best-selling novel. So I know this is a series. I absolutely love the cover of this with the wing and everything, and yeah, I hear really good things about this book. That's why it was on my wish list, and it's been on my wish list for a while. I never got around to getting it, and now it's just like, you know, I'll just get it. Why not? So this says here, how do you change your future when it's already been determined? Imagine a world where your destiny has already been decided by your future self. It's Callie's 17th birthday, and like everyone else, she's eagerly awaiting her vision, a memory sent back in time to sculpt each citizen into the person they're meant to be, a world-class swimmer, a renowned scientist, or in Callie's case, a criminal. In her vision, she sees herself murdering her gifted younger sister. Before she can process what it means, they are arrested and placed in prison. The only person who can help is her childhood crush Logan, a boy that she hasn't spoken to in 5 years. Logan breaks her free, but can she trust him? He is almost the same boy that she remembers, but now he's a whole lot hotter, and he's got his own past to deal with. Callie falls for him fast, and she soon learns that he's got secrets of his own, secrets that mean that they can never be together. Callie is on the run not from the government, but also from her fate. She wants any hope of a future with Logan. She must find a way to protect her sister and from the biggest threat of all, herself. So yeah, really glad that I've got my hands on this. It actually sounds really interesting, an interesting YA series, but I've heard really, really good things about it, so fingers crossed that I enjoy it. And then here I have Vicious by L.J. Shen. This is, I think it's like the first book in the Sinners of Saint, I'm not entirely sure, but this is literally every romance list possible, and yeah, I had to get my hands on it, of course. So Emilia, they say love and hate are the same feelings experienced under different circumstances, and it's true. The man who comes to me in my dreams also haunts me in my nightmares. He's a brilliant lawyer, a skilled criminal, a beautiful liar, a bully and a saviour, a monster and a lover. 10 years ago he made me run away from the small town where we lived. Now he came for me in New York, and he isn't leaving until he takes me with him. She is a starving artist, pretty and evasive like cherry blossom. 10 years ago she barged into my life unannounced and turned everything upside down. She paid the price. Emilia LeBlanc is completely off limits, my best friend's ex-girlfriend, the woman who knows my darkest secret, the daughter of the cheap help who had to take care of our estate. That should deter me from chasing her, but it doesn't. So she hates me, big deal, she better get used to me. I think this is like a love to hate novel. So yeah, I hear good things, so many good things about this one. So I'm really looking forward to giving it a read and diving into it and having all of the sort of like sexiness and stuff. So yeah, really, really enjoying that one. Hello, it's the last day of the month now, and it's the 30th. I've got a fair few more books to share with you guys, and yeah, these are the last books that I'll be sharing with you all. So without further ado, let's get started. I have Radiant by Grace Draven here, and this I've been hearing lots of massive things about, and yeah, I'm just told it's really, really good and interesting. So it says here, Prishin, Prince of the Kai, has lived content as the non-essential spare heir to a throne secured many times over. A trade and political alliance between the human kingdom and Gore and the Kai kingdom of Bast Haridis requires that he marry a gory woman to seal the treaty. Always a dutiful son, Britain agrees to the marriage and discovers that his bride is as ugly as expected and more beautiful than he could have imagined. Ildiko, niece of the gory king, has always known her only worth to the royal family lay in a strategic marriage. Resigned to her fate, she is horrified to learn that her intended groom isn't just a foreign aristocrat, but the younger prince of a people neither familiar nor human. Bound to her new husband, Ildiko will leave behind all she knows to embrace a man shrouded in darkness but with a soul forged by light. Two people brought together by the trappings of duty and politics will discover that they are destined for each other, even as the powers of a hostile kingdom scheme to tear them apart. I feel like this is going to be... Is it Hate to Love? I'm not really entirely sure. I can't remember about it, like, because it sounds like neither one of them is just like interested in another. So maybe that's sort of like a trope where you just at first not really interested, then you grow to like them. But I've heard really, really good things, so now that I've got it, because it's been on my wish list for a fair few months now, I must admit, it'll be interesting to give a read and see what I think about it soon. Get used to me saying soon, hopefully, because I have no idea when I will read these books, because I've just acquired so many really, really great ones. The next one I'm really, really excited about. This is Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. I hear massive things about this book and I'm told it's really sort of like cute, and it's about Georgette and their family runs a best home renovation business in the town, but she picked balloons instead of blueprints and no one has taken her seriously since. Frankly, she's over it. Georgie loves planning children's birthday parties and making people laugh, but not at her own expense. She's determined to fix herself up into a woman of the world. Phase 1, a new framework of her business. Phase 2, a gut reno on her wardrobe. Phase 3, updates to her exterior. Phase 4, put herself on the market. Living her best life means facing the truth. They haven't been on a date since ever. Nobody's asking out the town clown for a night of hot sex, that's for sure. Maybe people think she's having a steamy love affair. They don't acknowledge that she's not just the little sister who paints faces for a living. And who better to help demolish that image than the resident sports star and tabloid favourite. Travis Ford was a Major League Baseball's hottest rookie when an injury ended his career. Now he's flipping houses to keep busy and trying to forget his glory days, but he can't even cross the street without someone recapping his greatest hits or making a joke about his bat. But then there's Georgie, his best friend's sister, who's not a kid anymore, and when she proposes a wild scheme that they can pretend to date to shock her family and help him land a new job, he then agrees. What's the harm? It's not like it's real, with the girl Travis used to tease is now a funny, full of life woman, and there's nothing fake about how much he wants her. So yes, a definite fake dating book. and we love those because they're angsty, they're cute, and I feel like it's going to be comic as well. Yeah, Tessa Bailey is like really, really big in the romance world, and I hear really, really good things about this one. And then I've got here Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. This is the first book that's in the Wicked Villains series. There's quite a lot of books out of this at the moment, but these are basic like twists on the kind of like Disney tales. So this one is about like Jafar and Princess Jasmine, I believe. So I'll read you the back because it sounds like so intriguing. My saviour or my ruin. One night my entire life went up in flames, all because of him, Jafar. As my world burned down around me, he offered me a choice: walk away with nothing but my freedom or rise to his challenge and win my fortune back. I bargained, I lost. Now Jafar owns me. Even as my mind rails against his rules, my body loves the punishments he deals out when I break them. But a gilded cage is still a prison. I'll do anything to obtain my freedom, even betray the man that I am falling for. Like... It sounds crazy because when I think of the Disney cartoon, Jafar's a really old man and it grosses me out that it would be, if it was anything between Princess Jasmine and Jafar. So I'm hoping that this will be like just a sort of like older man type, and not like old man, sort of like man in his like 30s 40s, and then her being like quite young, like in her 20s or something like that, where I don't know, like, or maybe like him in his 30s 20s, so there's like 10 whatever age gap. I don't know, I really don't know, but I hear so many good things about this whole series in general, and I've heard about this before and I just had to get my hands on it. And yeah, I just want to see what I think about it. So fingers crossed I end up enjoying this one. Next of all, I've got here You Have a Match by Emma Lord, and this is a book that I've heard a lot of things about as well. So when Abby signs up for a DNA service, it's made to give her friend and her secret love interest a nudge. After all, she knows who she is already. She's an avid photographer, injury-prone tree climber, and she's best friends to both Leah and Connie. So ever since the big embarrassing incident with Leo, things have been awkward on that front, but she doesn't know that she is a younger sister, because the DNA service reveals that they have a secret sister, a shimmy-haired Instagram star called Savannah Tully. And that's hard to believe they're from the same planet, never mind the same parents, especially considering Savannah, queen of Greek smoothies, is a year and a half older than Abby herself. So the logical solution and action, of course, is to meet up at summer camp and figure out why Abby's parents gave Savvy up for adoption. But there are complications. Savvy is a rigid rule follower and a total narc. Leo is the camp's co-chef, putting Abby's growing feelings for him on the blast, and her parents have a secret that threatens to unravel everything. But part of life is showing up, leaning in, and learning to fit in all of your awkward pieces together, because sometimes the hardest things can also be the best ones. Next of all, I've got here The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. I've heard really big things about this book as well, so of course I added it to my wish list. And this is a hardcover, white underneath, and this actually came brand new. I ordered it with a few pounds off the actual price, so yeah, happy days. So it says here, born on the fringes of Bethel, Emmanuel does her best to obey the church and to follow holy protocol, for it was in Bethel that the first prophet pursued and killed 4 powerful witches and cleansed the land. Then a chance encounter lures her into the dark wood that surrounds Bethel. It's a forbidden place haunted by the spirits of the witches who bestow an extraordinary gift on Emmanuel, the diary of her dead mother. Fascinated by and fearful of the secrets the diary reveals, they begin to understand why the mother once consorted with witches. And as the truth about the prophets and the history is revealed, Emmanuel understands what must be done, for the real threat to Bethel is its own darkness. Bethel must then change, and that change will begin with her. Dun dun dun. So a witchy book. But I hear really, really good things about this one, so this will be perfect when I'm in my paranormal mood. And we have a Christina Lauren book, which is Dating You, Hating You. And yes, I had to get my hands on a couple of her books because, like I say, I'm in such a good contemporary, romance, hate to love, friends to lovers, any whatever romance trope I am here for. So of course I had to get this book. And this is about Carter and Evie immediately hit it off at a mutual friends party. The realization that they're both high-powered agents at competing firms in Hollywood isn't enough to smother the flames. But when their two agencies then merge together, it causes the pair to go for the same position. Then all bets are off. What could have been a beautiful, blossoming romance turns into a war and sabotage. They are both 30-something professionals, so why can't they act like it? When push comes to shove and love fights with hate, will these two ever get their fairy tale Hollywood ending? A smart, sexy romance for readers who thrive on girl power. There's a fine line between love and hate. So I'm told this is a hate to love romance. So it's kind of like love to hate to love or something like that, because obviously they fell in love, got it on, now they hate each other because this thing, and fall in love again. Yeah, so it sounds confusing, but I bet it's a blast. Next of all, I have a Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. I have heard really good things about this, and this sounds really, really cute. A match made in fandom. So yeah, it sounds really cute. So Marcus has a secret. He is a star of a big TV show, but he's also a fan fiction writer. So he releases his frustrations through his stories with the show, but if anyone ever found out about his online persona, he'd then be fired immediately. April has a secret of her own. She's a hardcore fan of Marcus's show that he's in. She has long hidden her fanfic cosplay hobby for her real life, but she dares to post her latest costume creation on Twitter. Her plus-size take goes viral. When Marcus asks her out to spy her critics, truth officially becomes stranger than fan fiction. On their date, Marcus quickly realises that he wants much more from April than a one-time publicity stunt, but with so many secrets between them, can they ever stop hiding? Will a match made in fandom ever make it real life? See what I mean? It sounds so cute. about, you know, TV shows and fan fiction and just a cute romance in between. It just sounds absolutely adorable. I have another Christina Lauren book here, Inner Holidays. So I managed to finally get hold of this because when it was released I struggled to get hold of this book, but we were in a lockdown, and now that we're kind of like getting out of it, I'm able to pretty much like get a few things more than I would normally do. So this is like a Christmassy style one. This is One Christmas Wish, Two Brothers and a Lifetime of Hope are on the line. For hapless Maylin Jones, Inner Holidays, the quintessential romantic holiday novel by Christina Lauren. It's the most wonderful time of the year, but not for Maylin Jones. She's living with her parents and hates going to her nowhere job, and has just made a romantic error of epic proportions. Because worst of all, this is the last Christmas they will be at their favourite place in the world, the snowy Utah cabin where she and her family have spent the holidays every year since she was born, along with her two other beloved families. Mentally melting down as she drives away from the cabin for the first time, May throws out what she thinks is a simple plea to the universe: show me what will make me happy. The next thing she knows, tires then screech and metal collides, everything goes black. When they're awake, she's on an airplane bound for Utah. She begins the same holiday all over again. With one hilarious disaster of another sending her back to the plane, they must figure out how to break free of the strange time loop and finally get her true love under the mistletoe. Jam-packed with Yuletide cheer and unforgettable cast of characters and Christina Lauren's trademark downright hilarious hijinks and spoon-worthy romantic read will make you believe in the power of wishes and the magic of holidays. It just sounds so cute. So, if I don't get to reading it within the next few months, I will try to save this during the period of the Christmas, because this will be just such a cute time, because obviously based around Christmas and the Christmas wish, and it'll probably make it more magical when reading it then. But it's just nice to have it now. So maybe like even just a wintry read would be really, really cool. Even November, because November's really close to December. We shall see. Next of all, I have Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. This was recommended to me by Rachel, and on Twitter I posted out like about romance reads with people's recommendations, and this was one that she recommended. So yeah, I've heard of this book, but I don't know what the synopsis about or anything, so I'm trusting you, Rachel. We shall see. So it says here, with her newly completed PhD in astronomy in hand, Grace Porter goes up to a girls' trip on Vegas to celebrate. She's straight A, hard-working high achiever. She's not the kind of person who goes to Vegas to get drunkenly married to a woman whose name that she doesn't know until she does exactly that. This one beautiful, spontaneous moment upends their carefully laid plans. Staggering under the weight of her parents' expectations and a struggling job market and feelings of burnout, they flew their home in Portland for summer in New York with a wife that she barely knows. In New York, she is able to ignore all the constant questions about her future and fall hard for her creative and gorgeous wife, Yuki Yamamoto. But when reality comes crashing in, they must face what she's been running from all along: the fears that make us human and the need for connection, especially when navigating the messiness of adulthood. That sounds really cute. She falls for and marries another wife and falling in love and stuff. Like, oh, it just sounds so cute and adorable. Yeah, hopefully I really enjoy this book. It says here, Morgan Rogers is a queer black millennial. She writes books for queer girls who are looking for their place in the world, and they live in Maryland with their pets. Honey Girl is their debut novel. Hopefully I really enjoy this book. Yeah, it's different to what I normally read, but yeah, hopefully I really enjoy it. So what I have here, the Austen Play book by Lucy Parker. I got this book recommended from Bookables. She's like my favourite booktuber. Let's just be completely honest. Like, I love her so much because we read very similar books, and that's just purely why. And yeah, she just said that this is really cute. It was in one of her recommendation videos, and yeah, I managed to get my hands on the book. It's this lovely cute small mass market paperback, but they never bother me too much. But this one's actually quite nice and floppy. So this one just sounds really cute. It says here, Freddie Carlton knows that she should be focusing on her lines for the Austen Playbook, a live-action TV event where viewers choose the outcome of each scene, but her concentration is being blown. The estate housing endeavour is now run by the rude and brilliant critic who's consistently slammed her performances of late. James Griffin has a penchant for sarcasm and a majestic nose, full of sensitivity of a sledgehammer, and she can't take her eyes off of him. Griffin can hardly focus with a contagious joy, fairy flitting about near him, especially when Freddie looks at him like that. His only concern right now should be on shutting down his younger brother's well-intentioned, disastrous schemes, or at the very least on the production that might save his family home from the banks. Instead, all he can think of is soft skin and vibrant curls, and he's reluctantly dragged into her quest to rediscover her passion for the stage, and Freddie is drawn into his research on a legendary theatre star. The adage about appearances being deceiving proves abundantly true. It's the unlikely start of something enormous, but a single revelation about the past could derail it all. I just... a bit of hate to love. I love it. Next of all, I have here Top Secret by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. Elle Kennedy, massively popular in the romance world. I've already got a couple of her books already. I've got one that I'm going to share with you, and I've got one that I already hauled, which is like over there. So this is one that they've collaborated together to create, and it says here, Sinner 3, well, I'm down if you are. My life is kind of a mess right now. Schoolwork, family stress, and I live next door to the most annoying dude in the world. I need this distraction. Are you sure you want this? I might want it a little more than I'm willing to admit. Hey, nothing wrong with pushing your boundaries. Tell that to my control freak father. Anyway, what if this threesome is awkward? Well, then it's awkward. It's not like we've ever had to see each other again, right? Just promise you won't fall in love with me. Now, wouldn't that be life-changing? So, I mean, here goes. For her birthday, my girlfriend wants a threesome. You come to the right hookup app. Have you done this sort of thing before with another guy? All the time. I play for both teams. You. So, it's about a threesome. But I've been recommended this book so much. So there's a lot of like multimedia, like texts and messages online sort of thing in this book, so that's quite interesting too. And the back of the book was literally written like it was like multimedia as well, which is like really cool. But yeah, this was on a couple of recommendation videos, so I took my hands and I got it. Next of all, I have A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett Sinclair. This, I'm told, is a Hades and Persephone romance. I've not read one of those romances before. So we've got here, Persephone is a goddess of spring by title. Since she was a little girl, flowers have shriveled at her touch. After moving to New Athens, she hopes to lead an unassuming life disguised as a mortal journalist. Hades, god of the dead, has built a gambling empire in the mortal world, and his favourite bets are rumoured to be impossible. After a chance encounter with Hades, Persephone finds herself in a contract with the god of the dead, and the terms are impossible. Persephone must create life in the underworld or lose her freedom forever. The bet does more than expose Persephone's failure as a goddess, however. As she struggles to sow the seeds of her freedom, love for the god of the dead grows, and it is forbidden. Forbidden romance. Hades, Persephone? It just sounds really good, like so good. Next of all, I've got some Penelope Douglas books here, the first of which is Punk 57, and yeah, I've literally, about all of her books, heard really good things, so of course I had to get my hands on them. So it says here, in 5th grade, my teacher set us with pen pals from a different school, thinking I was a girl with a name like Misha. The other teacher paired me up with her student Ren. My teacher believing Ren was a boy like me, agreed. It didn't take long for us to figure out the mistake, and in no time at all we were arguing about everything. The best take-up pizza, Android versus iPhone, whether or not Eminem was the greatest rapper ever, and that was a start. For the next 7 years it was us. Her letter stories on black paper with silver writing. Sometimes there's 1 a week or 3 in a day, but I need them. She's the only one who keeps me on track and talks me down and accepts everything that I am. We only have 3 rules: no social media, no phone numbers, no pictures, and we had a good thing going, so why ruin it? Until I run across a photo of a girl online, name's Ren, high school senior, loves Gallo pizza and worships her iPhone. What are the chances? Well, I need to meet her. I just don't expect to hate what I find. He hasn't been in 3 months. Something's wrong. Did he die? Get arrested? No, Misha. Neither would be a stretch. Without him around, I'm going crazy. I need to know someone's listening. It's my own fault. I should have gotten his number or picture or something. He could be gone forever or right under my nose, and I wouldn't even know it. So this sounds really cool because they're like pen pals and now they want to meet. It just sounds so good. But yeah, I heard big things about this book and I feel like I'm going to really enjoy it. The next one is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. This one, I'm told, is so good. So, Jordan, he took me in when I had nowhere else to go. He doesn't use me, hurt me, or forget about me. He doesn't treat me like I'm nothing, take me for granted, or make me feel unsafe. He remembers me, laughs at me, looks at me, and listens to me, protects me, and sees me. I can feel his eyes all over me at the breakfast table, and my heart pumps so hard when I hear him pulling the driver after work. I've got to stop this. It can't happen. My sister once told me there are no good men, and if you find one, he's probably unavailable. only Pike Lawson isn't the unavailable one. I am. Pike, I took her in because I thought I was helping. She cook a few meals and clean up a little. It was an easy arrangement. As the days go by though, it's becoming anything but easy. I have to stop my mind from drifting to her and stop holding my breath every time I bump into her in the house. I can't touch her and I shouldn't want to. But the more I find my path crossing hers though, the more she's becoming a part of me. But we're not free to give in to this. She's 19 and I'm 38 and her boyfriend's father. Unfortunately, they both just moved into my house. So yes, it's a young girl and a father romance. Just an age gap romance basically. Oh, it just sounds like it's gonna be, you know what, like when you get those forbidden romances where you're like, I want to, but I can't. Oh man, I feel like there's going to be so much angst in this book. Yeah, looking forward to it. And then I have here Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I've heard very good things about this. I think this is like one of her most recent book releases. So Erica, I was told that dreams were heart's desires. My nightmares, however, became my obsession. His name is Michael Christ, my boyfriend's older brother. It's like that scary movie that you peek through your hand to watch. He's handsome, strong and completely terrifying, the star of the college's football team, and they've now gone pro. He's more concerned with the dirt in his shoe than he is with me, but I noticed him, I saw him and I heard him, the things that he did and the deeds that he hid for years. I bit my nails, unable to look away. Now I've graduated high school and I've moved on to college, I haven't stopped watching him. He's bad and the dirt that I've seen isn't content to stay in my head anymore because he's finally noticed me. Michael. Her name is Erica Fain, but everyone calls her Rika. My brother's girlfriend, grew up hanging around my house and is always at a dinner table. She looks down when I enter a room and stills when I'm close. I can always feel the fear rolling off of her. While I haven't had a body, I know that I have her mind. That's all I really want anyway, until my brother leaves from the military and I find Rika alone at college, in my city, unprotected. The opportunity is too good to be true, as well as the timing, because you see, 3 years ago she put a few of my high school friends in prison, and now that they're out, we've waited, we've been patient, and every last one of her nightmares will come true. Woo! Another romance that I feel like is going to be quite angsty, and I feel like it's going to be good, but this wasn't pretty much every recommendation video that I watched that day, so have to get my hands on something that's like ultimately recommended. Next of all I have here The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I told you there was going to be another Elle Kennedy book. This is the first book in the Off Campus series. I've heard really good things about this one. So this is about Hannah, who's about to make a deal with the college bad boy. They found someone who turns her on. She might be confident in every other area of her life. She's carted around a full set of baggage when it comes to sex and seduction. If she wants to get her crush's attention, she'll have to step out of her comfort zone and make him take notice, even if it means tutoring the annoying, cocky captain of the hockey team in exchange for a pretend date. And it's going to be oh so good. Garrett Graham has ever wanted to play professional hockey after graduation, but his plummeting GPA is threatening everything he's worked so hard for. Helping a sarcastic brunette make another guy jealous will help him secure his position on the team. He's all for it. But when one unexpected kiss leads to the wildest sex of both of their lives, it doesn't take long for Garrett to realise that pretend isn't going to cut it, and he has to convince Hannah that the man she wants looks a lot like him. So she's into someone, they fake date with someone else, and they end up... I just love it. Then I got here an Abby Glines book. This is While It Lasts, a book that's in the Seabury series. Amazon was selling this for literally like £2.50 or something crazy like that, including postage, brand new. And I was like, how could I not pass it when I have every intention to read this series? So I'm not really entirely sure if it's an actual series or if it's about other people. Like maybe they're like spin-offs and stuff. Like I'm really not entirely sure. And then finally I have here Well Met by Jen DeLuca, another massively popular book here on BookTube. And it says here, Emily knew there would be strings attached when she relocated to the small towns of Willow Creek to help her sister, but who could have anticipated getting roped into volunteering for the local fair, or that the irritating and inscrutable school teacher in charge of the volunteers would be so annoying that she finds it impossible to stop thinking about him. The fair and Simon's a family legacy, and he makes it clear that he doesn't have time for Emily's light-hearted approach to life, her oddball Shakespeare conspiracy theories, or her endless suggestions for new acts to shake things out. On the fairgrounds, he becomes a different person, flirting freely with Emily when she's in her revealing wench's costume. But is this attraction real, or just part of the characters they're portraying? The summer was only supposed to be a pit stop for Emily, but now she can't shake the fantasy of calling Willow Creek and Simon home. It sounds really, really cute, and yeah, I just really, really like it. So, oh man, it's just, it sounds awesome. But yeah, this is in every other romance recommendation as well, so I had to also get my hands on this. Those are all the books that I've received in the month of April. There are so many. I'm so sorry, this video is going to be a long one. I do apologise for that. I hope you guys do enjoy watching these sort of books, but it's been a wild, crazy moment where I got paid. I will finally watch all the recommendation videos. I've been slumping, and the books that help get me out of slumps are my favourite genre ever, which generally is like contemporaries, but mainly contemporary romances, and that can also lead into chick lit romances. So anything like hate to love, friends to lovers, hate to love to friends to lovers, or whatever, like college romances, whatever, any of those sort of genres and tropes I adore so much, and they really honestly get me out of slumps, especially if they're executed well. So I watched a load of recommendation videos, and I wrote a whole list down of what everybody was recommended. I added them to my Amazon wish list, and the main ones that repeated the most are the ones I got. So the ones that you'll see in this are ones that got repeated the most or recommended by people that I value their recommendations highly. Definitely Bookables, anything that she recommends or even reads, I just want to read. Even something that she given 2 stars, I just want to read. There's something about Heather, I don't know what it is, she makes me just want to read everything that she reads. So kudos to you, Heather, for managing to do that. I mean, already I watched a couple of Heather's book videos today, and I am just like, I'm adding that to my wish list. It's been a while. I have been watching her videos as of late. I've got her videos on like notifications, and just if I'm at work, I'll put it save later so that I can watch it. But when I had the COVID and then the long COVID, the months of February and March, I wasn't really watching anything or doing anything, so I am behind, which is why I'm watching her videos again. So yes, massive shout out to Bookables, Heather Bookables. I love you so much, like, you're awesome. I just want to say that because it's just, you're amazing. I love you. So a lot of these are on Heather's recommendation videos, and yeah, a couple of other romance readers as well. So I, hope for the fact that because they're on a lot of people's romance reads recommendation videos, that it's a good book. So fingers crossed. But I've got a load of romance books now, a lot of hate to lovers, a lot of friendship to lovers, a lot of college romance books, a lot of romance books in general, a lot of contemporaries. So I've got a vast amount to choose from, so if I'm slumping I can pick one of these up, no problem. And hopefully I can just continue reading them and finding some favourites of mine, because I really need to get back into reading properly again, because I've been really, really slumpish lately during like April, and it was definitely ever since I had the COVID where I've just neglected reading, and even recently I've been neglecting doing videos and stuff. So yeah, it's just, I've had to literally like sit myself down and actually get the ball on and get it done. Once I like in the middle of doing it, I start to really enjoy it. So hopefully pretty soon you'll see more videos from me. I've got so many that I need to like edit and upload. It's crazy. I edited and uploaded one last night, so hopefully once I get myself in the roll of things again, I can get back to normal. But I've been really, really tired lately, and there's a lot going on with moving and stuff, so just want to say that as well. But that's it, guys, that is it. Hopefully, well, that's all you get from April. I just want to be done with April, want to be done with the first half of May, and just start fresh when we have our new place, everything connected again, everything moved in again. That will be amazing, so amazing. Thank you so much for watching my video as always. Let me know down below if there's any of these books I've mentioned in today's video that you own and have read and really enjoyed, or you own and you haven't read yet and you want to read. Maybe we can like read it together at some point. And also let me know if you've added any to your wish list, or if you're going to buy some, or like look into your library or whatever, or get it as an audiobook, or you know, just let me know if you're interested in any of these books. And also let me know any of your recommendations, if you've read any of these books that have those tropes and the romances that I haven't purchased yet. Recommend it down below, because I will just add it to my wish list, and you know, as and when I will get it. I've still got so many on my wish list. I've added extras because there were just so many videos that I watched that day that I had over 100 books in my wish list, and I purchased a crazy amount, for some for new, some for secondhand. So yeah, definitely recommend me any of your favourite books. And all of my social media links, as always, are linked down below in the description if you would like to follow and be friends elsewhere. I've got Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads, and also my Amazon wishlist if you want to check out those books. I'll link it down below, and you can see all the books that I added to my wishlist that I haven't purchased yet. And yeah, that's it from me. If you're new to my channel, if you'd like to see more of my videos, feel free to subscribe if you so wish. I post videos as and when at the moment. I promise you there will be better uploading times when I finally move. I've just been so busy just packing and dealing with packing, and the stress has just been way up here. It's been a crazy roller coaster, but hopefully the only way is up. Also, you'll find down below links to my gaming channel. I post videos on my YouTube as well as my Twitch, and I've also got a dedicated Twitter towards my gaming, so if you like video games and you want to check me out, then yeah, feel free to follow me there with my gaming stuff. But that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, honestly, it means so much to me when you guys watch my videos. Keep smiling, keep reading, be happy. My name is Katie, and I'll see all of you wonderful, awesome people in my next video. Bye!